Morning Show, 9 minutes after the hour. Y'all, the front page news is being brought to you by America's Best. That's right, your health is our priority, and America's Best contacts and eyeglasses stores are now open to safely serve your vision needs. It's not just a better deal, it's America's Best. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm Eva Marcel here with a look at your front page news. Hurricane Laura made landfall early this morning as a Category 4 storm with winds up to 150 miles per hour in Cameron, Louisiana, near the Texas border. Mandatory evacuation orders have been issued for more than 500,000 people. Heavy flooding is still expected as the storm moves inland, and officials must wait until daylight to assess the damage and start search and rescue. Also, a 17-year-old white male named Kyle Rittenhouse was arrested on murder charges yesterday in the shooting deaths of 2 people in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where protests over the shooting of Jacob Blake have been going for 4 days. A third person was also wounded in the attack, and most of it was caught on his cell phone video. Rittenhouse was carrying a semi-automatic rifle and could be heard saying, "I just killed somebody," but was not stopped by the police as he walked past them and was able to go home, where he was later arrested the next day. Remember Tamir Rice. Vice President Mike Pence made his acceptance speech for Vice President at the Republican National Convention last night, reinforcing the Republicans' law and order message. And if you thought that the recent changes in the guidelines for the COVID-19 testing made no sense, well, here's why. A new CNN investigation found that the Trump administration pressured the CDC to make the recent changes that state people without symptoms don't need to be tested, even if they have been around people who are positive. All right, that was a quick look at your headline news. For more, log on to the Rickey Smiley morningshow.com. Rock T, let's take a look at sports.
Man, I'm proud this morning. The sports world spoke loud and proud with their actions yesterday. First, the Milwaukee Bucks decided not to take the floor to play their playoff game, protesting justice for unarmed Jacob Blake, who was shot 7 times in the back by the police in Kenosha, Wisconsin. All other NBA players and games got canceled. The WNBA said, "We hear you, bros." They heard it loud and clear. They didn't play their games as well. They postponed. Shout out to tennis champion Naomi Osaka announced that she will not play in today's Western and Southern Open semifinal match. The tournament has been paused. Several African-American Major League Baseball players removed themselves from the starting lineups to support the protest yesterday. And the biggest one, man, my brother Kenny the Jet Smith walked off the live TNT TV set to support the NBA players for not playing the games. If y'all missed it, here's what he did.
As a black man, as a former player, I think it's best for me to support the players and just not be here tonight. And figure out what happens after that. Yeah, I just don't feel equipped to do that.
And I respect that.
That's it, man. I mean, kudos to everybody, man. And you say this all the time, Rick, like everybody needs to kind of just stop playing and that's how you make your voice heard right there. And we all know the question is not about how the NBA and the WNBA players and all these other sports players did not play. The question is about why they didn't play. And we all know why.
Right, and I would be so glad to see college athletes step up to the plate and do it too, because they're the ones that are making the most money because they don't have a payroll. They ain't paying nobody but the head coaches or whatever. If LSU and Alabama and Florida State University, Ohio State, if those players walk out, you will see change. Trust me, that'll put pressure on. I'm talking about, man, when pipes get pressure, they have to burst. So
yes, sir. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to follow suit. I'm pretty sure they're going to follow suit. So stay tuned for that right there. Yes, sir. Gary, what you got, man?
All right, y'all. They're saying that Sierra may have her work cut out for her. Now, they're saying that the 34-year-old singer-songwriter, she took to Instagram to reveal her plans, y'all, to get back in shape after giving birth to her 3rd child just weeks ago. Now, alongside the selfie, they're saying the Level Up singer, she announced, y'all, 48 pounds to go, starting the game plan tomorrow. Now, they're saying, y'all, that with another little one on her hands, Sierra predicts, y'all, that her weight loss journey may be a little bit more challenging the 3rd time around, but she's willing to put in the work. She said, P.S. Don't know how easy it's going to be considering 3 babies now, but she also added in the caption, going to work really hard at this. Let's go, mama. So congratulations to Sierra. I mean, sometimes I wonder, why would a woman have a baby and then lose the baby when they get pregnant again? So, I mean, you should just keep the weight on and have another baby, but that's neither here nor there. So we're going to keep Sierra lifted, honey. She lose that weight. All right, the color of the day is one of my favorite colors. My color of the day is thunder. On the high end, you say thunder, and on the low, you say beautiful gray. That's your color for the day.
That's
Brett, what you got
Gary.
coming up in the hot
Beautiful.
spot? Yeah.
Beautiful, Gary, beautiful. Coming up next in the hot spot, Kanye West will appear on a ballot in Minnesota, Idaho, and Tennessee, but not Missouri. I'm going to tell you all about it. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. The hot spot.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot,
Yeah, that's hot. You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 29 minutes after the hour, y'all. It is time for the hot spot. What up, Brett?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brat Tat Tat, and this is the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into this thing, y'all. Kanye has managed to get on the 2020 presidential ballot in Idaho, Minnesota, and Tennessee, but he will not be on the ballot in Missouri. According to the New York Post, the Secretary of State's office in Idaho and Missouri had confirmed earlier this week that he would be on the ballot. So he filed this petition to be on the ballot in Tennessee last Thursday, right before the state's noon deadline, but he failed to get enough signatures to appear on the ballot in Missouri. And in order to get on the ballot, he needed 10,000 signatures, and he was short 3,443 signatures. It's reported that he has hired a firm called Let the Voters Decide to get his name on the ballot in Arizona, and he is prepared to spend up to $500,000 to get it done. My goodness. And while he's trying to get that done, he's being sued by a tech company who is claiming that they advanced his Yeezy brand and launched his Sunday service, and he left them hanging high and dry. Attorneys for My Channel Inc. said they hired him for 6 months. He hired them for 6 months, and he promised a future of a $10 million investment, and estimates that they put in 10,000 hours and invested $7 million of their own money into his project. Well, after 6 months, he cut ties with them and allegedly jacked their technology for Sunday service. They are suing him for $20 million in damages. All right, y'all, moving on.
Wow.
Our girl, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Portia Williams was finally released from jail yesterday because she was arrested in Louisville during peaceful protests in the name of Breonna Taylor. Portia, along with Yandy Smith, Until Freedom's Tamika Mallory, rapper Trader Truth, and more were arrested for disorderly conduct in the second degree and obstructing a highway. Portia posted the minute she was released, though. She said, "I'm finally out. Good trouble. I love you all. Thank you for the calls and text messages. Do me a favor,
Love her.
say her name, Breonna Taylor." Guess what, Daniel Cameron? These handcuffs don't only fit peaceful protesters, they also fit the cops that murdered our sister Breonna. Do your job. No justice, no peace. We are unstoppable. Love to all. What
Yeah.
you think, Ricky?
Man, absolutely. I was glad to be there with them or whatever. I mean, I would have been in jail too, but you know, I couldn't get set up the broadcast from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, somebody have to take a stand, and I think Portia is finding her voice. And the wonderful things that Tamika Mallory is doing up there in Louisville, keeping not letting people forget about Breonna Taylor's family and everything that they're going through. And now it just seems like hell is breaking out all over the country. The NBA players are taking a stand,
Yes.
and people are just making personal sacrifices to do what's right, because people did it for us. The generation before us, they stood in the gap for us, and now we got to do it and stand in the gap for the next generation. What will you tell your kids? What did you do during the civil rights movement? You know, and
Right.
so we just got to be out there and be aggressive and just do what we have to do in order to have our voices heard. We built this damn country, you know.
Amen to that.
Absolutely.
And on that note, y'all, we're going to wrap up the hot spot. Coming up next, we got Special K with the news you absolutely, positively cannot use. And in the meantime, in between time, why don't y'all hit us up for them wake-up calls. That's 1-866-9-RICKEY, 1-866-9-RICKEY. The time now is 26 minutes before the top of the hour. Oops, 27 minutes before the top of the hour. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
You liar! I believe him, yo. I don't know why, but I do.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 13 before the top of the hour, y'all. Special K got news you can't use. What up, K?
Hey, man, what's going on? Well, this morning it's time for some more early morning brilliance. Because sometimes, you know how you just have questions that you just can't answer. Y'all ready for these?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, so I got some questions that you just can't answer. Even Rock T, who is by far the smartest person on the show. Rock T, if somebody owns a piece of land, they own it all the way to the center of the earth. How deep does land ownership go? You ever thought about that?
That's a good point.
If an African elephant comes to America, is it now an African American elephant? The fish get thirsty. Do fish get thirsty? Do pilots take crash courses?
Oh, man.
All right, how about this one? When they asked George Washington for ID, did he just pull out $1?
$1 bill?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How about this one? Can you cry underwater?
I tried that.
Here's a good one. If novel is pronounced novel, why isn't shovel pronounced shovel?
Good point. Yep.
Smoking some good weed last night, didn't you?
I'm telling you, man. It's called edibles. Why is it called a man-eating shark, but they eat women too? Shouldn't it be called a people-eating shark?
Right.
Why is it called a non-stop flight when it eventually lands?
You with all this? Roxy, you with all this?
Hey, dog, it's
Rock. It's called brain teasers.
right.
Hey, how do you write 0 in Roman numerals?
I don't know,
Hey,
Rick.
Rock.
Maybe I smoked something last night.
Roxy, you are the most optimistic person on this earth.
I'm just asking these
You
questions.
give everybody and everything the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
There you go.
Maybe Crystal snuck something in my food last night or something. I don't know.
Hey, Eva, you well known as the second most smartest person. So if you have a cold hot
You know
pocket,
what?
is it really just called a pocket? Yeah, think about
I think
that.
I might be the fourth.
I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. Why is it said that an alarm clock is going off when it's really coming on? Think about that. They say alarm clock going on, but really it's coming on.
That's deep, Rock.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Rick,
Yes,
if
sir.
a bedroom ain't got a bed in it, is it just a room? Why do they call it chilly if it's hot? And why do we call them restrooms when nobody go in there to take a nap? If you pamper a cow, do you get spoiled milk?
You stupid.
Keep going.
Why do you give your 2 cents worth when there's only a penny for your thoughts?
Okay.
All right, so if the restaurant says no shirt, no shoes, no service, what if somebody go in there with no pants? You still get served? Why do we need training bras? What are you trying to teach?
Stop it right there. Stop it.
Why do your feet smell but your nose runs?
Gary.
What do chickens think we taste like? Why do sleeping pills have a warning label that says caution may cause drowsiness?
Get him, Gary.
If it's a wheelchair-bound comedian, is it still called stand-up comedy?
That's it. Go to commercial.
Who opened the first oyster and said, man, doesn't this look good? Why you gotta have a driver's license to buy liquor when you ain't supposed to drink and drive? Why is it called life insurance when you only get it if you die?
Oh, my God.
Rickey Smiley morning show, baby.
Hold it. He's half man, half woman.
It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the tip. It's Gary, baby.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 7 minutes after the hour. Gary has the tea and the clue of the day. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Thursday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Actress Halle Berry, y'all. Everybody's raving her, saying that she asked the judge, y'all, to allow her to represent herself in divorce proceedings against her ex-husband, Mr. Olivier Martinez. Now, they're saying that Barry and Martinez, they filed for divorce in October of last year after just 2 years of marriage. Now, they're saying that the pair both noted the reason for the split as irreconcilable differences and are asking for joint custody of their 6-year-old son, Maceo, according to the legal documents. Now, they're saying, quote, "It is with a heavy heart that we have come to the decision to divorce." And, they're saying that, they mentioned that in a statement to People magazine. And a lot of people are saying, it's hell out of her mind. Why would you want to go to court and represent yourself? But isn't that kind of a good thing, though? Because only you know what's going on and what happened and how it went down. So, isn't that kind of a good thing to just represent yourself instead of paying all that money for a lawyer?
I don't think it's always a good thing because they lingo. Attorneys' lingo is different than our lingo. It may be something in there that we don't know or understand that they go to school for years.
And if you really want to get a judge irritated with you, go in there trying to represent yourself because they have like Brad said, a certain lingo and they know the law and different little stuff, and it takes time because now the judge got to sit there and explain every single little thing to you as if he's doing a law class, and they get irritated and impatient with you when you go in there trying to represent yourself. Some cases like small claims court or something like that you can. But when you're going in there with a real court hearing or whatever, you might not want to do that if you want the judge to have any type of favor in that courtroom.
Really? But then she said, though, we move forward with love and respect for one another and the shared focus of what is best for our son. So when you say stuff like that, nice words like that, look like it kind of should soften the blow, bud.
Well, they might be going in to arbitration or something. Yeah. Is that what it's called, Brett?
I don't know that part.
You don't know that part, Brad?
Yeah, that's why I couldn't represent myself. People would know that.
Yeah, mediation. So you sit in a room and you just kind of work it out, and then come with an agreement, and the judge sign off on it.
Oh. Right. Well, congratulations. Good luck to both of them then, honey. Because they, they love each other. All right. Speaking of love, y'all, moving on in other celebrity news, y'all, people are asking the question, was Nene Leakes fired from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all, after the news came out recently with Real Housewives of New York star Miss Dorinda Medley, who would not be returning to the series, y'all. And they're saying also Tamara Judge from Orange County. But she wrote in her Instagram thing, how she was talking about they're going to miss some of the icons from the show like Vicky and Tamara and Nene. And a lot of people saying, wait a minute, Nene, she ain't never announced that she was not going to be on the show. They say, honey, where did this come from? They say after she exposed all this madness to the public, honey, they said, she's like, oh, wait up, maybe I'm wrong. They're like, girl, maybe you are wrong. But, Nene still have as of yet to say if she's going to leave the show or not. But a lot of people are wondering if she's going to leave the show because she deleted her whole Instagram page, y'all. They're saying she just deleted it. And, that's the new thing now what celebrities are doing when they don't want to be bothered or whatever. They just delete their pages. So I'm like, we need to follow this story because we need Nene.
Don't you have to start over when you delete it?
Yeah, is that a question?
No, I don't think you do because Rihanna did something to hers and then she got right back on with all the same followers.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a way to suspend it or something like that.
Because, taking all your pictures off and all that stuff, starting all over, that's a big mess, though. But nevertheless, she deleted her page, so we're going to find out some kind of way, maybe through osmosis. Congratulations. We're going to see about that. All right, moving on in the other celebrity news, y'all. Okay, now there's a big understanding, y'all, with Meg Thee Stallion, Waka Flocka Flame, and this beautiful white Tammy out there. They're saying, honey, that Meg and Waka got into a big argument because Meg misunderstood something that Waka was saying. I think he was commenting one of his friends' T-shirt line or what have you, and it all fell up under what Meg. Meg thought that he was talking about her being shot and what have you. So Miss Tammy, Waka's wife, baby, she said, "Wait a minute, niece, honey, this is my husband, right or wrong, honey." And this girl, honey, she stepped in, honey, and they said a few words and stuff. But nevertheless, at the end of the day, they got back together and they all apologized to one another, which is a great thing.
Yes,
when grown-ups apologize to each other. Isn't that something?
Yes, it shows maturity.
It definitely shows.
Worth it.
Not at all, child. So, because, Waka has a street brand called Dro Life, and, he was commenting on the shirt or whatever, but they just got all mixed up and what have you. So now they all happy. So congratulations to them. And,
that's awesome.
A family that pray together, stay together.
Amen.
Nah. All right, the color today is one of my favorite colors. My color today is thunder. Thunder always happen, Ricky, what? When it's raining. So on the high end, you say thunder, and on the low end, just say beautiful gray. That's your color for today.
All right, y'all give it up for Gary with the T. All right, I got your wake-up call. Get on there, 866. You can call me right now. The phone lines are wide open. 866-9-Ricky. Call me. Got your wake-up call. 6 o'clock in the morning show. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, that time. Church in 60 seconds with Pastor Fred.
Pastor Fred.
Oh, Brother Ricky, I tell you, during this time of quarantine, it's a beautiful time to get some Bible reading done. I know you're over there reading your Bible. I just know you are. Anyway, I was reading the story of Joseph. How he went from the pit to the palace.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
You know, I was just thinking about a young man the other day that was telling me his story. He said, you know, in West Philadelphia he was born and raised. On the playground was where he spent most of his days.
All right.
Chilling out, maxing, relaxing all cool.
Woo!
And all shooting b-ball outside of the school. But one couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in his neighborhood.
Lord have mercy.
Come on now.
He got in one little fight, and his mama got scared. She said, you're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air. You know, he got a ride out there, and he pulled up to the house about 7 or 8.
Okay.
And he yelled to the cabbie, "You're home, smell you later." Look at the kingdom. He was finally there to sit on his throne as the Prince of Bel Air.
Bring it on home.
Came to encourage somebody. You can make it from the pit to the palace. Look at your neighbor and say palace. Yeah. Follow me in the hills, Pastor Fred.
Y'all give it up and show your love for Pastor Fred, y'all. All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, Chicken and Waffle Beans coming up next.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Whoa, boy, that was hype, boy. Blake, Tony, you see how that man get up and come to work? Hello?
They're good. Hey, Shawty, they're good. What else? Hey, look, Shawty.
See how that man come to work? What is that noise?
I don't know what the noise is. What's your noise is? You got some noise on back of you?
Getting some beeping noise.
Shawty?
Yeah.
What that noise is?
I don't know. Maybe a rock background or something. I don't know.
Look, Shawty. Shawty, I'm excited, Shawty. I'm gonna go to Washington.
I'm gonna go to Washington.
I got a little Shawty from the RNC. No, the RNC. Said they want
Republican National Convention.
Yeah, I'm looking at the letter right here. They said, Black China, your voice important black media voice. They said I'm an important black media voice. They said they want me to come and speak. They want me to come talk. They want me to come talk to their
constituents.
No, CONVENTION.
What is he talking about?
Convention is the Republican National Convention. They want you to come and speak as a black man.
They said they want me to come tonight. They said they want me to come and act like and tell them or speak for the behalf of President Donald J. Trump. Want you to come as an important black media voice. They said I'm an important black media
voice. What are you trying to say?
I don't know. The convention is over, Rick. Yesterday was the last night of the Republican National Convention. So
no, Shawty, they say I'm finna come. You would start hating, Shawty. I need a suit, Shawty, cause these folks finna give me 5. These folks finna give me 5 bands, Shawty. White lady called me yesterday. Said they finna give me 5 bands. Come up though. I don't even know what they want me to talk about. They want,
Are you a Republican?
For 5 bands, I can't be. I be with those. I don't care nothing about that.
What's up? Get out of bed.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Hold it. He's half man, half woman.
It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the teeth.
It's
It's Gary, baby.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. The same as being brought to you by Simple Mobile. That's right, you get the no contract advantage with no mystery fees, no activation fees, and no contract ever. Simple Mobile. Out with the O, in with the simple. Terms and conditions at simplemobile.com. Gary, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning to you. It's Thursday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. A lot of people saying y'all Cardi B may be deported, honey, for some of the things she just recently said. Now, it's being reported, y'all, that Cardi B did not hold back when a writer, y'all, tweeted, America needs far more women like Melania Trump and far less like Cardi B. Now, they're saying, y'all, that the comment was made by political correspondent Ms. Deanna Lorraine, who took to Twitter to remark on U.S. First Lady Melania Trump's speech during the second night of the Republican National Convention. Now, a lot of people saying, y'all, is that so, honey? And they're saying that some people saying, well, maybe, honey, Americans need more women like Melania Trump and far less like Cardi B. But then somebody said, well, hey, they both pose naked hair for the public, so what's the difference? And then somebody else said, well, honey, one of them is in the White House and one not. So,
Yeah, but one of them, man.
What?
Nothing. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Well, did Cardi B respond?
Yeah, she responded, honey. Oh, she went on, Lord, and she started cursing, honey. She started doing Cardi B style.
What'd she say, Gary?
Oh, Lord, it's just too much. She said, first of all, honey, she said, honey, she voiced her opinion. She said, first of all, reference to my number one hit, WAP. She said, and she wrote, the pig giving me, yeah, you effing with some wetting. Oh, child, she went on. Yeah, so child, I mean, but Cardi B's a classy woman, though. I mean, you know, to somebody, I think she's classy, and her husband like it and stuff, and, you know, Melania, I mean, I guess
I have more respect for Cardi B than I have for Melania Trump.
Ain't nobody fooling with Melania, not on this end.
Yeah, well, honey, well, bless their spirit, though, y'all, but they're saying, you know, Melania, honey, she speaks fluent English, and, you know, she's married to the president, what have you. And they say, I don't know what people talking about saying, Trump didn't meet her at church. So, but nevertheless, there you go, honey. So we're going to follow this story and see who's the classiest, honey. All right, moving on. In other celebrity news, y'all, let's pray, honey. Don Lemon is speaking out, y'all. They're saying that Don Lemon pleased y'all with the Black Lives Matter to stop, y'all. He said, stop rioting, because he said you're hurting the Democrats' chances in November. Now, I know we got a lot of political people on this show, and I hope y'all can respond to it. But they're saying, y'all, that Lemon, he pleaded, y'all, with the Democratic nominee, Joe Biden, to do something about Black Lives Matter activists, because the ongoing riots are hurting the Democrats' chances, honey, in the upcoming election. Now, he cited polling that shows Americans are turning away, honey, from the Democratic Party after months of anti-police rioting following the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. And he also went to say, y'all, liberals are finally realizing that supporting rioters may not be the best strategy to win the election. How y'all feel about that?
Well, it's not the Black Lives Matter, the ones that send things on fire. It's the white people from the Republican side are infiltrating Black Lives Matter and coming setting buildings and stuff on fire. You're not going to put that on the organizers of Black Lives Matter or whatever. They have peaceful protests. It's people from the outside, from the other side, that infiltrate and come in and start setting things on fire and writing things on walls. That's not Black Lives Matter
pretty
platform.
Much. But what Don Lemon was saying is that the right wing is taking the images from the civil unrest and trying to use that to manipulate the narrative to make it look like this is what Black Lives Matter is.
Right, but it's them that's doing it. You got people it's the opposition that's coming and pretending to be marching with Black Lives Matter, and they the one setting all of the buildings and stuff on fire. It's not the organizers from Black Lives Matter. It is not.
We know that.
Yeah,
we know that. But
I just want to be clear about it.
Being manipulated.
Right.
Yeah. It is something, because, you know, they were saying that, like, when they were doing all the protesting here in Atlanta, whatever, how people, you know, they come like, oh, we're your friends and stuff like that, and then we start throwing bricks, and then they throw bricks and then throw fire and run and hide, and then Leroy caught there with the brick with fire in his hand, and then he go to jail. So, yeah, it's very
Which is why this guy, Kyle Rittenhouse, that actually was arrested, is necessary, because it shows that it's not us out here doing the violence. We're upset and we are enraged and we are in the street, but we are not knocking down anyone's businesses. We want the government and for the officials to understand our rage. Now, people are taking advantage of that, as you can see with Kyle Rittenhouse. It's not us.
And
it's
ain't
them.
no black folks walking around with rifles and guns openly in the public, because we get shot immediately if we do that.
Okay. All right.
Gary said, okay.
The color today, honey, is one of my favorite colors. My color today is thunder. On the high end, you say thunder, and on the low end, you say beautiful gray. That's your color for today.
All right, y'all give it up for Gary with the team. All right, man. Now listen, coming up at what's trending tomorrow, thousands of people are expected to attend to Get Your Knee Off Our Necks commitment march on Washington, honoring the 57th anniversary of the march where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his I Have a Dream speech. So we're going to be talking about all of that. Coming up next, man, Reverend Al Sharpton. You do not want to miss it. Next, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news. It's what's trending now.
All right, 22 minutes after the hour, y'all, this segment's being brought to you by
Urban One. We have the power and the voice to decide the direction of our communities and our nation. Don't sit back, take action, and register to vote on newsone.com/vote and make your voice heard.
All right, y'all. Hey, appreciate that. Even tomorrow, man, now thousands of people are expected to attend the Get Your Knee Off Our Necks commitment march on Washington, honoring the 57th anniversary of the march where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his I Have a Dream speech. And the National Action Network is one of the organizations putting the event together. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for National Action Network founder and president, Reverend Al Sharpton. Man, good morning, Reverend Al. Thank you for taking time to talk to us this morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning. Glad to be with all of you.
Man, we love you so much. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I'm so excited. Now, what is the main purpose of the march, and what are you hoping to accomplish for tomorrow?
Well, the main purpose is there are two pieces of legislation. The George Floyd Police and Justice Act, which has passed the House of Representatives, but Mitch McConnell has not even brought it before the Senate, and the John Lewis Voter Rights Bill. Both bills, one bill, the Floyd bill, is to make it a felony for police to use compression of any sort that leads to a fatality or death, to make them not have immunity from personal lawsuits, and to also make all their records transparent if there's been complaints against them. That would all be federal offenses. And the John Lewis bill is to give us full powers again of voting rights and a map to make sure that you cannot make voting rights changes, change voting sites, change people on the rolls without creating it with the Justice Department. Now, the reason we're using these two bills, because they need to have mass support, is in 57 years ago when Dr. King did I Have a Dream, they came to get a Civil Rights Act. As we've been marching and talking to you, Ricky, since George Floyd's death, we've had great demonstrations. We must now demonstrate and pinpoint the legislation. Otherwise, they'll say, well, they had a summer discontent, nothing changed. We want to make laws change like they did in 63. The 63 march led to the 64 Voting Rights Act. We can't have just marching. We're not an exercise class. We're about change.
Right.
And I think that this is why we've got to do this.
Amen. Reverend Al, we really appreciate the way you ride for our people and stand for justice every time. We just want to say thank you. And I also hear the family members of some of the victims of police violence and racial injustice have been invited to participate. Who are you expecting to attend?
George Floyd's family is already here. I'm in Washington. His brother and them are already here. The father and mother of young Mr. Blake, who was shot in the back in Kenosha, is here. They're on their way. The father's already in flight. The mother be in the morning. We expect the families of Breonna Taylor. We expect the family of Rashad Brooks, shot in Atlanta. Ahmaud Arbery's father. All of them will be all the way back to Eric Garner. They will lead the march. We have the rally where Martin Luther King III is speaking. He's a co-convener, and Attorney Van Crump. And after the rally, we will march from the Lincoln Memorial to the King Memorial, and we take a lot of people. We have face masks for everybody. We're going to make them social distance. Yes. We're taking everybody's temperature that comes into the march. So we're going to be, unlike President Trump, who had an outdoor thing last night with Pence and having one tonight, we're making everybody be COVID-19 conscious. Yes. All of the buses, they've got to be tested before they get on the bus with the temperature. So we're going to be responsible, but we're going to be determined.
Okay, and Reverend Al, this is Special K. Hope that the march turns out even more than what you're expecting. And my question was related to the pandemic, but you already answered that, and that's good to hear. But in light of what happened in Kenosha this week, is there any concern about counter-protesters showing up?
Well, I think the counter-protest is tonight. President Trump is speaking down the block at the White House.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's crazy. So, Reverend,
I mean, how do you have a president, Ricky, last night, Special K, the vice president spoke and never called the name of Blake? Talked about law and order. Well, when do the police follow the law and establish the order? Shooting a man in the back 7 or 8 times, that's against the law and against order.
Hey, Reverend, now we was having a conversation about off the air about how when Gary was doing his segment about Black Lives Matter, how they are trying to make it seem as if other people and other entities are not trying to infiltrate Black Lives Matter to make it look like Black Lives Matter is burning down buildings and stuff like that. How do you feel about that? You know, because just like that 17-year-old kid came out of nowhere with an assault rifle and killed 2 people. This stuff has been happening a long time.
Right.
A long time. But the thing that gets me, first of all, Black Lives Matter is about saying that you've made everybody else's life matter, make ours matter. And there are different parts of the movement, civil rights groups like National Action Network and Urban League, all the way to grassroots activists. Many of who the Black Lives Matter organization are speaking at the rally tomorrow. We've all got to deal with Black Lives Matter. It is not burning down anything. There are those that have looted, and we've said that we're against looting. But are they against shooting? They want to stop the looting without dealing with the police shooting. And you've got to do both. And the other part of that, though, I think, is that we're not anti-police. We want to stop gun violence. I preached a 1-year-old kid's funeral in New York 3 weeks ago, shot with a stray bullet. My heart went out to my niece, Rickey Smiley's daughter, when she went through her thing. She won't tell Ricky I'm a real uncle, but that's the truth. I mean, we got to be real about this, and for them to act like Black Lives Matter is the problem when they won't deal with policing. We've got to deal with what's wrong on both sides.
Amen. Absolutely. And so there are a lot of us that are not able to travel to D.C. tomorrow because of the pandemic and all of our own issues. Are there any way that people can participate who are not physically in D.C. tomorrow?
Yes, they can go on nationalactionnetwork.net. It will be on all the live broadcast the whole time. BET is doing it live. MSNBC will be doing some of it live, and it'll be easy to watch. But those in the Northeast area can go to www.National Action Network, find out where the buses are. The buses are free to bring you down. But we're going to check your temperature. We're going to put a face mask on you, and we're going to put gloves on you because we don't want to be irresponsible.
Hey, Reverend, now you saw that video I made on Facebook yesterday. You know, I had to defend you and Ben Crump. You know, I went in, Reverend. I don't play about y'all.
Oh, yeah. We gonna have a meeting at the church to see if we can make you a deacon. You know, the other side of your language, we might have a little problem getting that past the deacon boy, but we gonna try it.
It's hard to. Don't get me started, Reverend.
Try Jesus.
That's right. That's right.
Don't try Ricky.
Don't try me.
Because he fight.
Hey, Reverend Al, we really appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all please give it up for Reverend Al Sharpton. And there's still some time to reserve your spot for tomorrow's Get Your Knee Off Our Necks Commitment March. Go to nationalactionnetwork.net or call toll-free 877-626-4651. There it is, y'all. Jeff Johnson with 3 things you should know. Up next, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. It is about that time, man. 19 before the top of the hour, y'all. Jeff Johnson got 3 things you need to know. Jeff, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Rick. How are you?
Man, blessed and highly favored this morning. How you feeling, man?
Man, you know what? I feel absolutely freaking fantastic. When I think about the fact that 4 years after Colin Kaepernick takes a knee, that athletes from every sport that is being played after sports haven't been played for so long has said to absolute hell with this foolishness and committed not to play. I love it on every imaginable level, and my prayer, Rick, as I watched this week at these 3 little black boys have to watch their daddy get shot outside of their car when there was no justifiable reason for 7 shots being put into his back, followed by a 17-year-old white boy who I believe is in collusion with the police, who shoots, who kills 2 protesters and then is given a level of humanity as they arrest him. I am ecstatic about what I am starting to see. And I'm going to say something, Rick, that some people may not find popular, but I need you to hear me before I get out. When they, and by they I mean those who support systemic racism and state violence, kill us unlawfully, vengefully, denying our humanity and dignity, we need to ensure that something of theirs is killed too. We need to kill the profit that we drive to those who refuse to stand with us. We need to kill the sense of peace that allows people to sleep at night, thinking all we're going to do is pray. We need to kill the confidence that too many politicians have in our support until they deliver not just promise, but what we deserve. We need to kill the arrogance too many still have that they are in any way better than us because of their skin color or their zip code. I'm not calling for physical violence against anybody, Rick. However, I do believe that violent attacks against us should be met with equal force in the name of self-defense. And I believe that this coalition of athletes that is utilizing their gift and their power and this moment to be able to not only elevate humanity, but to demand that their gift and power within a capitalist system to drive profit will not continue to be used for the benefit of anybody that does not stand with us in our humanity.
College football players too.
All of them. And that's what I'm saying. Athletes across the board. They are showing up. But you know what, Rick? I think I don't want us to lose the point here, because there's a lot of people saying, well, you know, I love the fact that athletes are doing this. But they have this notion of what traditional leadership looks like. Let's be clear, y'all. It's activists and organizers and academicians and writers and other just regular old folk who made this possible. Rick, you and I remember a time when athletes didn't feel confident enough to be able to use this power because they didn't know if they would be supported.
Right.
And it is activists and organizers and regular old folk who have said this is an issue, who said that not on their watch, who have mobilized against cities and police departments and elected officials and corporations and use social media to do it, so that they've elevated a culture of social justice mobilization that have made athletes part of that culture of social justice mobilization. So when we see these athletes, I just love watching LeBron and the Lakers and the Clippers walk about the meeting.
Right.
But recognize that they feel empowered to do this because they understand, both as human and athletes, they're supported by a community that stood first.
Hey, Jeff.
And so this is a chess game of a community mobilizing, not just athletes in this moment standing up.
Hey, Jeff. Special K.
Yeah.
But my question, and I love it the same way you do. How far are they going to go with it, though? That's the other question. How far are they going to go with it?
How much are we going to support it? No. How much are we going to support it? So every time somebody creates a spark that begins something doesn't mean they are the ones alone that have to leverage it as far as it can go. The question is, how far are we going to go with it? Because at this point, now that they have done this, we can put pressure to bear on sponsors that are sponsoring the NBA, whether it's soft drink companies or sneaker companies or car companies or whomever else. We also have the ability to continue to put pressure to bear on TNT and ESPN and the networks that carry these sports. And so the question is, how far are we all going to take it? They have greater leverage to take it further if we join in this moment with strategic action, calling for involvement. Listen, right now, we've talked about Kentucky, right? And what leverage do we have in the state of Kentucky to bring these folks to push for the prosecution and arrest of the killers of Breonna Taylor? Well, you getting ready to have a Kentucky Derby that's going to bring billions of dollars into the state of Kentucky. Well, who are the largest funders of the Kentucky Derby?
You better
who
say
are corporations that are going to make millions of dollars off the Kentucky Derby? Raise hell and go after them until they denounce what is not happening in the state of Kentucky with the murderers of Breonna Taylor.
Absolutely. And the University of Louisville basketball program and the University of Kentucky basketball program, which two of the largest programs in the country.
Well, and Rick, I'm just saying because we know there may not be sports in college this year. We know it's a Kentucky Derby in 2 weeks.
Right.
So we right now should be mobilizing against the largest corporations that are sponsoring the Kentucky Derby, because I guarantee you those are corporations that we help make rich.
Well, you said one then, and that's what they were saying up in Louisville, Kentucky, when I was talking to Tamika Mallory, in those families up there, because they got Derby coming up. So
it's the biggest money maker in the state of Kentucky outside of bourbon.
Right. Wow.
And it's right now. And so let's support Tamika and let's support those activists on the ground, but let's go hard as hell against these corporations that are supporting the Kentucky Derby and tell them we will not continue to support them if they don't call on this governor, on this district attorney, on these elected officials in the state of Kentucky and Louisville to do their damn job and arrest these police officers.
And anything else going on in Wisconsin, as a matter, because the district attorney in Wisconsin was trying to say that the young man was near a knife, and
don't even get me started on that.
Police was justified in shooting him 7 times in the back when they had time.
First of all, they're trying to say that he told them he had a knife in his car, and that then he walked from one side of the car to the other side of the car to get the knife, and that he was reaching in the car to get the knife when they shot him. Get the hell out of here.
Right.
And I bet you it ain't no body cam. I bet you it's just written report.
Oh, no, they turned them off.
Right.
And they said that they don't have body cams. They just have body microphones, but they weren't on.
And again, so we already know that there are police officers, especially in these kind of situations, that write whatever report they want to write.
Yeah.
It happened with Aubrey.
Absolutely.
When you read that report. So listen, they're going to make whatever statements they need to make to set precedent for what they want to defend in court. The beautiful thing in this horrible situation is that Brother Jacob is alive, and he actually will have the ability to tell his own story, when so often they shoot enough times to kill so that the only witness that is able to talk is them.
Wow. There it is. Hey, Jeff, let everybody know how you can be reached.
Y'all hit me at Jeff's Nation on all social media. Let me know what you think about these athletes and what they're doing, but more than that, what they're inspiring you to raise the level to do.
There it is, y'all.
Love y'all. Have a good Thursday.
Hey, love you too, Jeff. Hey, y'all, coming up next, man, Eva's Corner. You don't want to miss it. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
To all the hard-working women and everyday super moms, we got a little something for you. It's Eva's Corner on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
There it is, top of the hour, y'all. Time for Eva's Corner. Brought to you by...
Brought to you by BET Plus. Streaming today on BET Plus. Don't miss Tyler Perry's last run as Medea. That's right, Tyler Perry's Medea's farewell play. Only on BET Plus. And I'm your girl, Eva Marcel Hill with Eva's Corner, bringing you everything womanhood, motherhood, and the juiciness in between. So my question is, what happens to a dream deferred? A famous poem written by Langston Hughes, also known as Harlem. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or does it fester like a sore and run? And I ask you that because in the middle of this pandemic, I feel like we have a lot of time, and you hear me say this often, to take self-inventory and think about our dreams. And as I look at the sponsor of today's segment, talking about Tyler Perry, I just think about his story and who Tyler Perry is and where he came from. Oftentimes we see ourselves sitting on the shoulders of giants, and these giants are in history that we've never met. But Tyler Perry is one that is making history while we live, and his shoulders we stand on. And I just want to talk about his story a little bit today. This is a simple man from Louisiana that had a dream of writing what he knew was funny, felt was funny, and was true for our culture, and did it against what everybody else had to say. Did it so much, and he believed so much in himself that he gave it all for his dream. Literally lived in a car to put his plays up. Went to where they would accept it and played what he could play. Now we look in 2011, and Tyler Perry is named. Forbes listed him as the highest paid man in entertainment, making $130 million in 12 months. So it shows you, Ricky, I don't know about you, but it gives me chills to come from something so simple, but have a so big that you can literally find yourself in the highest space in your and even someone else. So it shows you, Ricky, I don't know about you, but it gives me chills to know that you can come from something so simple, but have a dream so big that you can literally find yourself in the highest space in your industry. And even someone like you coming from where you come from in Alabama, being a very simple beginnings with your grandmother and your parents, and then the man that you are today. And so while it doesn't work for us. So we have to be stellar. We have to believe beyond what people say we can do. It doesn't matter where you come from. It matters what you can believe in and where you can go. So like Tyler Perry, who started off as a simple man and went all the way to all these TV shows from House of Pain, which I was actually on, Meet the Browns. The man was in Star Trek, Gone Girl, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's voicing Colin Powell. I mean, how much larger can you get? And at the end of the day, he's a simple man that looks like your brother, my brother, dad, uncle, cousin. So when they say we can't, I say we can. And I remember that poem.
Eva, I really appreciate that. And I hope, Gary, are you listening to what Eva's saying? And
I am.
Think about getting your life together and getting off your butt and do better.
Yes, Lord.
Look at you.
Look at you.
Just make sure the only thing you do is ride around and shop and buy stuff and buy jewelry and stuff. Look at yourself.
That's my dream deferred, hell, because I can't have, you ain't got no doggone more money and stuff. And I was saying, Lord, I work with Rickey Smiley. I was like, maybe he'll just say, here, extra, a coin, honey, to go buy me some food, honey. But I'm dropping you off getting M&M, them damn Mountain Dew. It didn't even offer me none, but my dream was deferred.
Not M&M's and Mountain Dew.
You gonna sit there and just let him talk to your boy like that?
Man.
Brad, you're a great example too, though, of living.
Oh man! Oh no! You got to do a whole story on Brad by herself because I'll shout about this about her testimony.
Absolutely.
Say that, dude. We're gonna do a whole story. We're gonna celebrate you one day, Brad, and you too, Eva, and talk about all of your accomplishments. But that stuff with Brad and that testimony right there, everybody needs to hear it because when you go from the top and you then hit your lowest low and then come back to the top, man.
Come on now.
God is good.
You my next corner, Brad.
Won't he do it?
Yeah. So
make sure
Eva, write that down for your next corner right there.
Oh, that is definitely my next corner because I want to, as we do the HBCU knows and reminding us of how great we are out here, we're sitting next to royalty. I literally am on air every morning with the biggest names in history. And so I'm doing a whole on Brad. But make sure you check out BET Plus. BET Plus. Do not miss Tyler Perry's last run as Medea. Tyler Perry, royalty. I literally am on air every morning with the biggest names in history. And so I'm doing a whole corner on Brat. But make sure you check out BET Plus, streaming today on BET Plus. Do not miss Tyler Perry's last run as Madea. That's right. Tyler Perry, Madea's farewell play only on BET Plus. That's Eva's Corner.
Eva,
yes, sir.
It's a sad thing you won't be getting to do one about Gary with you.
You can have my corner.
Because Jesus knows, honey.
I'm gonna do one about Gary.
Jesus knows, baby. Trust me. Mine may be small, but honey, trust me, it's gonna shine bright like a diamond.
All right.
There's no
Bright like a diamond.
That was not deep. Hey, that was not deep. That was not deep.
I was digging.
You try,
Right there. That's the best part of that song.
Boy, that song gonna be in your head all day.
Hey, Rock T.
Like this.
What up, Mike?
Hey, Rock T.
Yes,
don't you hate when somebody, you think somebody getting ready to say something real deep and profound and it just hit rock bottom? Say that again, Gary.
A little bit short.
I don't think nobody wrote that down. What you say, Gary?
I said my life is gonna shine bright like a. I was trying to formulate it, but honey,
it didn't work.
You should
your ass.
I'll admit it.
Say what, Gary?
I'll admit it.
Yeah, don't you ever say nothing different. Everybody in their car listen to the radio. Boy, they turn their radio up. They say, oh, Gary finna get, so this finna be deep right here. It's a shining bright like a diamond. And I'm like, what? And then next thing, bright like a diamond. I can get you out of my head.
Even next time, send me a cue card, hell.
Hey, y'all hear T.I.? Whatever you like, y'all.
You know the old shit,
Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
They tell them girls.
Hey.
Whatever you like, I said you can have.
Rocky, what that remind you of, Rock?
Come on, man. Riding on them doggone Daytons that you should not put on your wheels in the first place, but you just wanted to be a pimp, rolling down the road, rolling down the hood. Come on, baby.
What? Take me back, even what that remind you of.
Man, this was my first real taste of proper South music. When I first came to Atlanta, T.I. was the biggest thing. This reminded me of homecoming at Clark Atlanta University, man. Would go down.
Go on, shout out Clark. You better shout out Clark.
HBC.
Man, I couldn't stand T.I. when that song came out. I had to turn that song down in my car every time it came on. That is not my wife reality.
Hey.
Brett, what does that remind you of, Brett?
Man, this is the day I realized T.I. was gonna be the king. He's so dope, so laid back, real smart, got street cred and street smart, and he used big ass words. You know what I'm saying? This song was everything, yo.
Yeah, man. It just remind me of, you know what remind me of, Gary?
What?
The 97.9 The Beat days up in that little bitty studio inside Valley View Mall where the Rickey Smiley Morning Show was founded. It was just me, Rock T, Gary Haircrack on the show, and Euro or whatever, who's still working behind the scenes on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show, and us just being in that little bitty studio, going to the mall, walking through that dark parking lot to get to the job, and just being in that small, little musty studio, trying to just had big dreams. That's what it reminded me of. And then we did the live broadcast with T.I. in the gym, because we had a basketball court at the radio station, Brett. Had a whole had a gym inside the radio station, and we would get out the air and play a game of 21 almost every day. We shoot ball when we get off the air, but it reminded me of that old building. I think they tore it down now. Valley View Mall, they took most of it down. 97.9 The Beat back in the day, man. All right, y'all, more Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all. Wait a minute, start the music. Listen. We was going to play a song right here. I know we supposed to play a song coming out of commercial. I apologize. This is terrible, terrible radio. But this is just in my spirit. I want to let everybody know. So listen. So Eva and Brett is new to the Brett been here. How many years you been here, Brett?
Probably about 5 or 6.
5 or 6 years. Eva, you been here what, a year and a half?
It'll be 2 in November.
2 in November. Okay. Brett and Eva don't know that the Rickey Smiley Morning Show, that we almost how it started and how several times we almost got fired.
Several.
Yeah, several times.
Several.
What? Several times. We don't even supposed to be on the air. Thank God for Alfred Liggins.
Oh, Lord. What y'all do?
We defied the odds.
Okay, first of all, we had Alfred. So I go out to dinner with Alfred Liggins, and there was attorney, my entertainment attorney at the time, and Sean Nunn, who was our general manager, who was really nice, who gave me the opportunity. I love Sean Nunn. He's in Dallas. That was what was the general manager before him that fired Gary for stealing?
Wait a damn minute.
Wait.
George Lawson.
Yeah, George. Oh yeah, Gary got caught. They got Gary on camera stealing something out of. Gary stole something out of the production room. No. So Gary had got fired. Gary got fired. Gary wasn't even supposed to be at the radio station at all.
So I was not. I gave away to a poor listener.
But you supposed to
without permission.
Yeah, you went in the production room and you got that little camera and you tried to steal it, and they got you on camera. You said you didn't steal nothing, and then they ran back the footage. We have, and I'm trying to get the footage or whatever. But George, I've been trying to get George to call in, but George won't call in and talk about it. So Gary was banned from the radio station. So Gary knows Steve Harvey, so Gary started doing horoscopes on Steve Harvey's show, right?
Yes.
What? Horoscopes?
Yeah, Gary used to do.
Yeah.
But his name wasn't Gary on Steve Harvey's show. What was your name on Steve?
It was Drew.
Why Drew?
Because Steve like Drew. He's like, we'll call you Drew.
Drew.
So wait a minute. I'm telling all the listeners, y'all don't know this. You got to know our story, to know our glory. Gary wasn't allowed to come to the radio station. He would be standing outside the radio station with his purse. So Steve Harvey was like, hey man, Rick, you need to, Steve Harvey introduced me to Gary with the T. So Gary started out, when I moved to Dallas, they said, you need an assistant. And Steve said, Gary would be good for you. He'll help you out with everything. He was a terrible assistant, but he got it done. I don't mind working with him or whatever, I wasn't ashamed because, what I'm saying, I'm secure within myself, so I wasn't ashamed of walking around the mall, going nowhere with Gary. They think Gary, think what you want to think. Gary, my dog, I don't care. We just trying to handle the business. Gary used to come on the show and do the tea once a week every Monday. He didn't want Gary on the show. I said, let you come on the show and do the tea. So let's try it out. So he started out once a week. He didn't like the boss. He didn't like Rod T at all. Rod T wasn't supposed to be there at all. So every time we have a disagreement, what you say, Rob?
Come on with Gary? No,
every time you have a disagreement with the boss.
Every time you had a disagreement, he would kind of pull me into the office and try to get me on his side. And I would always, Rick got a good point. I would always take the side of Rick. Like, he got a good point. Rick is doing radio outside the box, and I think the listeners are really liking it. He didn't like that. He was trying to fire me quick.
yeah, he was trying to get rid of Rock T. And then he was trying to get rid of Gary. So Gary ended up doing the tea. What days? Mondays and Wednesdays we got it. So,
Wednesdays.
Right. And then we got it Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday. But when Gary did the tea, he would send security in the studio to escort Gary out of the radio station.
Yeah, he'd come into the studio, do the tea, and then leave. He couldn't even hang out on the rest of the show.
Boy, when you see Gary switch out there with his little purse, with his little man bag, and he'll wave like Boz, he'd be like,
Yes, for your Merce.
Okay, my Merce, baby.
Yes, Merce.
It's Merce.
So I'm just letting y'all know, everybody that's listening to us on the radio, y'all know our story. It was not disassembled. It was assembled kind of on the crazy side, and we went through a lot of stuff, but we were just sitting here talking and crying, laughing about all of this stuff because Rock T not supposed to be here because he didn't like Rock T. He did not like Gary with the T. He didn't even want me to open up my own break. He didn't even think I could say, all right, y'all, 15 after the hour, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. He didn't want me to do my own breaks.
Sure did.
Yep.
What?
He just wanted me to sit on a radio show and tell jokes. I'm like, no, I'm going to do my own breaks, sir. I said, you wrong. I said, I done moved all the way from Birmingham to Dallas now. You gonna have me down here sitting on. I said, cause if that was the case, I could have stayed on 95.7 Jams with Buck Wild in Africa. So I'm going, if this is Rickey Smiley Morning Show, I'm going to open up my own break. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. So Brandon and Eva, y'all got it real easy. Y'all didn't go through the struggle. Me, Gary and Rock T, whatever. We are the Ralph Abernathy, Martin Luther King, and John Lewis.
Yeah.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Entertainment.
Let's go, Pioneers.
It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Hey, I apologize. I know we were supposed to play a song, but I had to share that, man. We were laughing because it's hard to get that moment back. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't do that tomorrow. We had to go and talk about that then. Segment is being brought to you by Optima Tax Relief. Stop living in fear of the IRS and stop lying awake worried about the IRS garnishing your wages and freezing your bank accounts. Call Optima Tax Relief, 800-829-3181. That's 800-829-3181. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. I'm Eva Marcel here with a look at your front page news. So Hurricane Laura made landfall early this morning as a Category 4 storm in Louisiana near the Texas border. 500,000 people along the Gulf Coast are ordered to evacuate, and over 285,000 people are without power. But it's not over yet. The National Hurricane Center called the expected storm surge unsurvivable and said that it could push up to 40 miles inland. And on a side note, it's so bizarre, but this Saturday will be the 15th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina making landfall in Louisiana. Also, a health official with the CDC admits that the Trump administration pressured them to make the recent changes to its guidelines on the coronavirus testing. So the new guidelines state that people without symptoms do not need to be tested, even if they have been around people that are positive. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the top person on the coronavirus task force, said that he was literally in surgery when the decision was made. Meanwhile, a 14-year-old boy named Kyle Rittenhouse was arrested on murder charges yesterday in the shooting deaths of 2 protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where protests over the shooting of Jason Blake have been going on for 4 days. Now, a third person was wounded in the attack, and most of it was caught on video. Rittenhouse, who is white, was carrying a semi-automatic rifle and could be heard saying, "I just killed somebody," but was not stopped by the police as they walked past him. He was able to go back into his home in Illinois, where he was arrested the next day. Video taken before the shooting also shows police tossing bottled water to the militia group that Rittenhouse was a part of. And an officer is heard saying, "We appreciate you being here." Meanwhile, Mike Pence accepted his vice presidential nomination at the Republican National Convention last night, reinforcing the Republicans' law and order message. Trump will make his acceptance speech tonight. That's what's going on in news. Rock Teasy Fosheezy. What's going on in sports?
Martin Easy, the sports world spoke loud yesterday with their actions, man. First of all, the Milwaukee Bucks decided not to take the floor to play their playoff game, protesting the justice for unarmed Jacob Blake, who was shot 7 times in the back of the police, in the back by the police in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Then the WNBA said we following suit. They're not going to take the floor. Big ups to Naomi Osaka, announced that she will not play in today's Western and Southern Open semifinals match. The tournament has been paused. Several African-American baseball players removed themselves from the starting lineup to support the protest. And the big one that everyone's talking about, Kenny the Jet Smith walked off the live TNT TV show to support the NBA players not playing games, man. So big ups to the protest, and we're going to see how long this lasts.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and you can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
Damn, Rocky, you all right?
Did it go out again?
Yeah, it went out. What you were saying? Rock.
Man, it didn't go out.
It did.
I'm still on. It didn't go out.
What? What happened?
Oh, it didn't. Y'all, hey.
Oh, Wi-Fi Jesus.
Everybody heard me. That's what happened.
What? Huh?
What?
Huh? It went out. Rock.
It went out. It really went
Your
out.
internet went out.
It did?
Yeah.
For real?
No, for
Yeah, you all right? It was almost like you fell. It was like you fell. It was like you was doing the sports and you fell and you got back up. But you kept talking. But when you fell, you kept talking. You didn't realize that you fell and you got back up and couldn't.
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell everybody to turn their Wi-Fi's off, man. When you get to this 8.
Yeah, call all your neighbors and tell them to turn their Wi-Fi off so you can do your sport.
You need to call Jesus.
He said he need to get fiber. Time for the high spot. What you got, Brett?
Yo. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Shaka Khan is working on a biopic. I'm going to leave out the intro and all that because we running out of time. Okay, she got this biopic currently in the works. She said, I'm working on it, and I've already got my daughter lined up because she's the carbon copy of me as a mini-me, and she played me in some aspects of my life. When they asked her about Melanie Fiona, who portrayed her in the BET series American Soul, Miss Shady Pants said, she just sang a song. That's very different than doing my life story.
All right.
All right.
And I'm going to wrap up the hot spot right there, y'all. Coming up next, we got Chef Kurt Boudreaux with them quarantine cuisines, and we got the praise mix down. Coming up next, y'all, on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, it's about that time. Quarantine cooking with Chef Kurt Boudreaux. What up, man? Hey, we sitting up here. Boy, we sitting up here real hungry, man. What you cooking today?
Oh, man. I'm doing some spicy wings, man. Some spicy wings with some celery sticks, man, on the side with a little ranch. But
hey, how you make spicy wings though, man? I cooked a lot of things, but I ain't never made wings. I made chicken wings, you know, the one that's folded up, but like the wings you go like the hot wings.
Yeah, pretty much. I usually I fry, man, but today I use the air fryer. So I just started by seasoning the chicken with a little salt and mustard. I'll put them in the air fryer for about 40 minutes. And for the sauce, I use some Louisiana hot sauce, unsalted butter, some garlic chili sauce, juice from the lemon and the zest, and a little parsley on the back end, combined and toss it in that sauce, man, and put a little ranch dressing on the side with some celery sticks. It's got a good little kick to them, but I call it my night ball wing, boy.
Ooh, man.
Sounds good.
Hey, so Eva, what does the celery do for the wings? Why do people eat celery with wings?
I think it's cheap and it's healthy. Cool. It gives you a nice little balance because it's not expensive. The celery and the carrots, they go with ranch really well. So I think it's like a kind of a complete meal because you got your veggies, you have your protein, the coating usually gives you a little bit of your starch, so you got everything.
Kind of cleanse your palate too a little bit, you know, from the heat from the chicken.
Teach me, chef.
No, that's right. Hey, Kurt, let everybody know how they can find this recipe.
And you can find the recipe on Rickey Smiley Official. You can follow your boy on Facebook at Boudreaux's Catering and on Instagram, Chef_Boudreaux1.
One time, ladies and gentlemen, Chef Kurt Boudreaux.
Smiley Morning Show.